All right. Morning, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. Glad you guys could come and join me. I am going to stream one of my all-time favorite classics, and probably fail really bad at it because it's been forever since I played this game. But I'm going to play the SDF Macross game for the PlayStation 1. It had a Saturn component, but it is going to be the Do You Remember Love Do You Remember Love game from the original PlayStation. I've got that loaded up. It's sitting here screaming in my ear. So I'm just trying to get it from stop playing all this loud music while I'm trying to get through the intro here. But once we get that rolling up again, we will start streaming that. Now that's one of 3 games that I really love from the series. Now the first one being this is the game here. I know the lighting's kind of bad, but the game here. Okay. That is the Macross. DF Macross. Anyway, yeah. So it's 2 discs. So we have to swap disc in the middle of this. So we're gonna see how that goes. But this because I just accidentally started the game. Anyway, I'm going to start. It's all in Japanese, so I will try and explain what's going on a little bit. But for the most part, yeah, it's going to be an interesting stream here. So if you stick around, I don't think you'll be disappointed too much. Here we go. Again, it's going through the intro right now as far as what's going on in the game. Kind of go through it. So here you go. Okay, so basically they're getting ready for an attack. If you know anything about the original series, basically there was a ship that crash landed on the South Ontario Islands or the Macross Islands, depending on what show you watch. Long story short, that's really loud on my. Okay. Anyway, long story short, they get the ship, they salvage it, and they repair it, and then they kind of modify it with human. Say human because it's an alien ship they recapture. So basically, they take the ship and rebuild it, and basically the aliens are coming to kind of reclaim or attack it. So this is a movie version of the show. Basically, they were stationed on an aircraft carrier, and that's Macross Island that they're headed to right now. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of loading. This is a PlayStation 1 game, so I do apologize. So basically, this one is a side scroller. The other one, obviously, this is a side scroller, kind of like a Raiden. get fairly challenging at times. I mean, it's fairly challenging already, as you can see. It's a pretty fun game. In a minute, I'll kind of tell you why I'm spinning around. So there's a set button for that. Just go at normal pace, but if you do the speed button, you move a lot quicker. So it looks silly, but for the sake of getting through these levels, it's kind of necessary. So up at the top, you have your 3 modes. I guess you could call it the fighter pilot mode. You have your Gerwalk mode, fighter pilot, which lets you go forward, and then you have the battleoid mode, which is full-on robot, humanoid robot. Used to be so good at this game too. Got lucky out of that one. Could have died. Anyway, basically we're just kind of getting introduced to the alien forces, holding them off from the Macross Island. So this big ship that we took over from the aliens, or that crash landed on the island, we went through and kind of repurposed, like I said. This is it right here. Basically, what it did is they did a space fold, which is kind of a teleportation, basically. So on this one, you get the option for weapon changes here in between each phase. And what you have is you have your directional shooting, which it'll aim to any direction, kind of, sort of, or it'll shoot straight forward. This one is for your missiles. It'll scatter, or they'll go towards one target. And on this one, it does one surrounding bomb, or it does a big cluster. Oh, hang on. Follow this back. There we go. So I like that setup. Seems to be the best. As you can see, I already tried running it, so just to see how it went. Test it out, you know. So, go.
Macross は超空間工法フォールドの
失敗により冥王星軌道へと飛ばされてしまった。その中には異星人の攻撃 They've been incorporated into the Macross Defense Force, the MDF. So I'm hoping this isn't too loud for you guys. If it is, I can turn it down. One thing I love about the series, the music is so good. SYNTHINX. So basically, what's going on here? You have what is equivalent to Superstar on the ship. Her name is Lin Minmay, and basically she's a famous singer that is trapped on the ship with the rest of the civilians that are on this on the Macross, and basically she becomes a future love interest for our main character. We're about to launch an offensive against the aliens. Basically, target the enemies, shoot their payload, asking them to match their speed, basically. You'll see that here in a second. I can't skip these, otherwise I would. A lot of dialogue, a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. So when we teleported, we ended up kind of out past Saturn. That's in the background there. So every now and then you get payload drops. That's what that is, basically. That's where that directional shooting comes into place with the gun. Go. Second boss done. Okay. Basically, she's saying that, and keep in mind, I do not speak Japanese, but basically, she's saying that they have breached the hull of the Macross, and they have enemies on board now. So that's where we're going right now. Just kind of save everybody. Save it there just in case. Stick with the same loadout for now. So this is the enemies on board the ship. Okay, so the footage that you're seeing and all this stuff, this is the Macross Do You Remember Love movie. Okay. So the aliens are called the Zentradi. They live in the sexes are secluded from each other. So they have men and women themselves, Zentradi and the Meltrandi. But basically, what's happening is that they're having culture shock seeing all of this because they don't see men and women interact with each other. So they're deliberately kept separated because they're bred for war, and basically any sign of culture, like you'll see later with our singer Lin Min that is quite a shock for their system. So you'll see that come into play. Right now we're inside the Macross. We're basically taking out the enemy intruders. So you'll notice I don't go to Battle Royale mode very often, just because it's very clunky to use. You'll see in some of the other games that I'll play that it's a more useful tool than it is in this game, but that's why I don't change over to the humanoid form very often. Just not very helpful. So you can see most of the enemies background here, attacking various parts of the ship, which we do not like. Alright. So basically, like most Japanese anime, mecha anime, you have a transforming element to your robots. That's what the Macross is doing. So that's our hero, Hikaru. Most of you from that know Robotech know him as Rick Hunter. Hikaru Ichijo. Kind of like, I like that. I like him a lot because he's kind of like an everyday guy. He's not the best fighter pilot in the squad. He's just not very happy about his placement. He's just very realistic character, I guess you could say. So we lost our gravity control systems. So the reason the Macross transforms is that in the series is to better shoot the main cannons you see that stick out from the top. Where Hikaru and Mei first meet, in the movie at least. The series is a little more fleshed out. Basically, he crash lands into this empty recess. I guess you could call it like an engine room. It gets shut off, and they end up living in this room for weeks, trapped, or this section of the Macross. And in the movie, Minmay is already established as a pop icon. So over the course of weeks, they live together. They end up growing a bond. And basically, they're talking about a scene in the movie where he asks if he actually kissed the actor. Bring it up because it comes into play here. Basically, she's acting out a scene, and she's got the famous kiss scene with Hikaru. So of course, basically after they kiss, they get discovered. They get found, and of course the press is there to find them and spread the news of the horrid affair all over, everywhere. So becomes a PR mess, I guess you could say. More. Next phase. Now, obviously, we weren't doing so great in that one. Lost a lot of health in that one again. So basically, here the Zentradi is looking over the footage and all the details of the attack. And basically, they're just trying to interpret what's going on. Seeing men and women together, just Earth culture is kind of confusing to them, so they're just kind of discussing that. So
Delta 1より全防衛隊へ未確認のエネルギー反応急速接近中至急確認願いますおいヒカル
So here they're just kind of making fun of him for being in the news for kissing Minmay.
僕は一条先輩を信じてます音反応出ましたみんな気を引き締めていけ
Kind of like giving him crap about it. So you see a lot of enemies go by, but basically try and take out as many as you can. See the SDF indicator up there? The SDF is at 80%. So basically the enemy has has knocked out 80% of its retaliation shields, and basically we're trying to keep that happening. Basically, the SDF is the Macross. It's Super Defense Fortress Macross. That's what that means. That's the big ship that we're on. Game isn't one of the harder games, but it is pretty difficult, especially when I haven't played it in forever. Oh, not paying attention. End up failing this. Yep. Alright. Yep, there's my first death. Don't worry, I'm sure there will be more. So unfortunately, I will probably be back. Yep, I do love this shot though. Macross is back.
お前本当に民名ちゃんと何にもなかったのか？ほんととぼけちゃって。僕は一条先輩を信じてます。おと、反応出ました。みんな、気を引き締めていけ。
Yeah, I like to play my on this game a lot, but then what? With the exception of getting to level 9 over there, if it had been 10 years I played this game. This is on normal. Beat this thing on hard once. Or I used to play it on hard. So you kind of see where you kind of slowly, gradually break off pieces of the ship. Here. So, a little bit of everything. really was. I'm really not doing that great on this game.
別のエネルギー反応。敵大型戦艦本艦に向けて急速接近中。これよりピンポイントバリア使用によるアームドアタックを敢行します。スカル、エンゼル、アポロ小隊は直ちに
Okay,
帰
so
還
she
して
telling them to go back to the ship because they're going to do the pinpoint barrier. Basically, in the show, now this is a special scene they created for this. But in the show, basically they have like because they had a force field that went around the whole ship, but they had to incorporate it to where it was directional. So they kind of rolled a control around so that it takes this force field and puts it over parts of the ship. Well, they called it the Daedalus attack. This one, they do it to pinpoint barrier. They take the the surrounding points of this force field, put it on the front of the one of the arms, and then they punch through the enemy ship, unleash a payload of attack. Basically their missiles, payloads of missiles, and blow up the ship from within. So you'll see that here in a second. That's what the whole thing is about. Yeah, maybe, yeah. It is an anime game, and it's all in Japanese. So thanks for joining me, Notch. Okay, so the next phase here. So basically, they're getting ready for the Daedalus attack. They're going to the front of the arm that's going to punch like this right here.
アームドアタック。
Yeah, Notch in its heyday, Macross was like the Star Wars of anime. So not so much anymore. It's been very animeized. It's very Japanese now.
スカル小隊は敵艦動力源を破壊し速やかに脱出せよ。
目標は敵さんのど真ん中
How's the volume? Is the game volume too loud? I had to turn it down on my end. It was horrendously loud. Not doing very well. So right now we're on the Trotty ship. Trotty is the male form of the aliens. The Meltrondi are the female forms. Well, I mentioned that because we will be going on the Meltrondi ship at some point here in the future. I guess I lost Notch.
聞こえるか光る動力源はすぐ先だポイントはお前が一番近い任せたぞそれでは先輩また会いましょう
Die.
敵艦中枢撃破速やかに退去してください
So basically, that was the core of the alien ship. All the destroids, which are porting type robots, mecha, whatever you want to call them as. So you can see the levels are fairly short, but there's a lot going on. All right, this is where we need to put in the disk 2 here. Give me a second or two. Get that rolling. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. All right, get this back up and running. Okay, so basically what we need to do is a quote-unquote disk swap here. There we go. All right, we're in disk 2 now. All right, so with the emulators, there is a little difficult to get that running like it needs to, but we are back up and running, or at least should be where we need to be. All right. All right. I think what I'm gonna do is switch bombs. Bombs kind of act as like a temporary shield. They kind of destroy any projectiles that come close. So basically, after the PR stunt, they're back on the ship. Gets bored and she decides she wants to see Hikaru. Haven't seen each other for a while. Get back, build their romantic friendship. I guess you could say. And Hikaru takes her out on a training plane. Just to kind of show off a little bit, I guess you could say. Keep in mind, she is a singer, so one of her songs. Just kind of flashback to earlier in the date at this point. Okay. So we're out in the middle of space here, and all seem calm, but of course, something's always got to ruin our date.
大丈夫僕に任せていけねえ
Systems are locked. We don't have any weapons. This is a training plane.
一条君その機体では戦闘は無理よとにかくスピードで逃げ切ってこちらは援護を要請します
So a little bit of background. Oh. Not able to move. There we go. A little bit on the background on who that other girl is and the other plane. She is our flight deck officer. Her name is Misa Hayase. Now, she becomes equal to the part of the story later because she and Hikaru end up getting trapped here. You'll kind of see how this plays out. So basically the aliens are tasked with capturing a live sample. That's what they're trying to do, is capture Hikaru. Okay, Roy Fokker. Hi, you drunk? Of course, he has a brash bravado saying, you know, how can I go into battle if I can't handle a little alcohol, you know? Alright. So basically at this point we're just trying to dodge everything. So you see we have ice clusters come in from difficult. Only much access to. You guys keep trying to shoot, kick at me. May end up having to do this part again. But I just took Misa Hayase. Typhoon. Inmay's manager slash cousin. Okay, so they just captured us. Back in the chat. So we're on board the Trotty ship. We're being segregated. Segregated? No. Goodness. We're being interrogated. And they're asking us about culture. Remember, they don't know anything about culture, so they're just trying to figure out what this is all about. So basically, they want to know what this kiss thing is. And of course, that comes as a culture shock to them because, again, men and women do not interact with each other in their environment. So they don't have music, they don't have kissing, they basically live their lives for battles. So this is probably a hard game to follow just because there's not a lot of dialogue that we can understand here. But hopefully that makes a little bit more sense as I'm going through it. Okay, so this the Zentradi females, the Maltrandi, are attacking the Zentradi ship. Remember, the Zentradi are males, Maltrandi are the females. So the females are attacking the male ships. Misa Hayase, there's our flight commanding officer. How dare you? So basically, his goal is to go and rescue Minmay, who is also captured in the other ship. And that's what we're doing right now, trying to rescue Minmay from the aliens. And I will try not to suck at this, because I got about this far last time, and I was having difficulties. So that's Meltrandi, the females attacking the males. Having a little bit of a, I guess you could say, a civil war here. Okay, so there's the leader. Her name is Milia. Yeah. Which version you watch? Like that. Dude, brutal. See. So she's called elsewhere, which, lucky for us. Okay, so the ship crashed down. So they're in shock because they realize it is a woman that the men and women are fighting. First time they learn of it. Ugh, it's the saddest thing. Focusing. Always rough. As you can see, the aliens are 10 times our size. Telling Hikaru to run. And to tell Claudia, his girlfriend, I guess you could say, his girlfriend, longtime girlfriend, that he had died. Telling him to go. Don't forget Minmay. Let his death be in vain. Have Minmay to save. I knew that's what it was going to take. Hopefully I don't have to do this too many times. This is one of the harder points in the game.
いけないわ。少佐の死を無駄にしては。民兵さんには発信機を取り付
Okay,
けてあ
this
り
is
ます。
after the
反
Milia
応の方へ向かってください。
fight, so I should be okay. You end up fighting her again later on, and she's just tough as nails. So the green ones are the Zentradi. Purple ones are the Meltrandi. So Minmay's beacon is just beyond this wall.
その壁の向こうにいるはずよ。
Try and break through that and save her.
光る。これはフォールドだわ。この缶がフォールドしようとしている。
So we're about to teleport again, and we get sucked through a wormhole again. Teleported back to some strange island, which have ship-like structures on it, which look like could be Earth.
太平洋艦隊所属攻撃空母プロメテウス。まさかここが私たちの地球だなんて。
So basically, what's happening here is that they've made their way back to Earth and have found that the aliens have completely ravaged the surface. Everything is destroyed. So they're going about searching, find a structure. Structure happens to be their ancestral home. Basically, the Macross movie sets up that the aliens' creators were our creators as well. So when this structure raised itself, when the giants came because it recognized signals from the old technology from the creators. That's why this spire is coming out of nowhere. They're exploring it and kind of living on it for a little bit. Gets a little bit too much for Misa, and again, Karu ends up falling for her, and they end up being a thing. And now we have our love triangle between Misa Hayase, Minmay, and Hikaru. Okay, so this one, I think we'll stick with the weapons. About where I left off. Let me see. And again, hopefully the volume's not too loud. I haven't gotten a response back on that, so if it is too loud, let me know. So the Macross comes and finds them. They bring them back aboard, rescue them. Now they have to tell Roy Foker's girlfriend, Claudia LaSalle, about his death.
ロイは立派だった。
Did he die gloriously? Yes.
ありがとう。
Thank you. That's all I need to know. I don't know. It's weird that they include like snippets of the movie here and there. That one was one of the weirder clips because it didn't really add or detract from anything, but
敵機捕食エリア27より海面付近を接近中女性ばかりのメルトランディ
so
ングものと
here
推定される
they're bracing for another attack from the Maltrandi, and they made a comment about it only being women. What kind of challenge could they be? Haru's saying that they can be just as tough as the men. And there goes Miyazaki. Kakazaki Hayao. Cars start shooting too. Shields, cares, no. Sure, place your bombs. See the Macross there in the background here.
プロトカルチャー
Better, a lot better than the last time I did this. Okay, so that's Max, the remaining person on my squad. I just lost Kakazaki and Senpai Roy Folker. Now these two are going to go after battle. Those are the two aces on either side. The human side is Maximilian Genius, and Milia on the Maltrandi side. Okay, so we have caught up to where I was. Let's see if we can not fuck it up. Alright. Okay, so that's the Maltrandi ship. Again, they're still fighting against the Zentradi. They're trying to keep the Zentradi from getting the alien, or their ancestral island. They end up shooting the main weapons of the Macross. So basically, both the Maltrandi and the Zentradi are fighting against each other to try and control the culture, the humans. Humans are the ones that have the culture that their ancestors kept from them. So basically, what's happening in the story is that basically you find out that the Zentradi's creators, the humans' creators, are the same species. Kind of like in Halo, where the Forerunners created the humans. I don't know. The Halo story is a little messed up, but Forerunners created everything. Yeah. So, kind of situation here. So, this is the ancestral ship of both Maltrandi's and Zentradi's creators, and the humans' creators as well. While the Maltrandi and the Zentradi were bred for war, we were bred for creation. So, that's kind of the story in a nutshell on that. Yeah, and I just missed my payload of shields and stuff right there, so. Alright. This part has been sticking with me for a little bit, so I've been having problems with this one. So if I repeat this point too much, I apologize right now. Not to. So. Starting to slog a little bit. That always gets me. Million Max in the background
とて
again.
も強力なエネルギ
Pointed
ー
out
反
earlier,
応を
but
含み
that's
注意してください。
right in the background there still. About this point in the game, my fingers get a little fatigued too, so we're about to hit a big boss battle here, and it's not very helpful. How brutal this is. Probably not make it past this.
どうしてミンメイさん。
This boss sucks because you have to start all the way from the beginning. I really hate this part of the game. This might be where I call it quits. Till I have more patience.
エリザワンより各機へ。本艦は敵艦の攻撃を受け、航行不能。地球防衛に回れ。
Good start. Oh. One good part to this is that it is one of my favorite songs. Soundtrack, background. I hear it a lot, but pretty sure you guys do not want to hear it. Let's try and get through it this time. wonder if she's giving handouts either. Gosh, finally. So basically what you're hearing in the background is a portion of a song that Lisa found on the alien ship. And if you remember, they have no idea of culture through the aliens. So hearing a song is giving them culture shock as well. Not only kissing, but a song now. So working with, because Minmay is still captured on the Zentradi ship, they decide to work together to kind of learn more about the humans, because the culture that they have, that is the main Zentradi ship. They're wanting a truce so that they can kind of get with the humans and see what they're all about. But ultimately, it goes for naught because they just end up seeing it as a weapon in the long run. So this is Zentradi becoming human. They can declone them. That is Dolboza. He is the living component of the main battleship. He had a song plate just like Misa found on the ship. They have returned Minmay. This is where the love triangle comes into play, because Hikaru has moved on from Minmay. This is the song plate that they found on the alien. Song plate that Misa and Hikaru found. Say that I don't care what happened between the other woman, but I'm here. But of course she walks in, nothing happens, but basically Hikaru has to make a choice between Misa and if you don't know the story, well, I think we're on the last port, so hopefully it'll be fairly self-explanatory. Looks like I lost my one viewer. So this is where he has to make a choice. Minmay runs out because of something Hikaru said. Basically said it's not like that.
再び戦いの渦に
They're
巻
gonna
き込まれ
launch
た
an
マクロ
all-out
スに
assault
第一級非常
against the
体制を
Malchandi
知らせる
forces.
警報が鳴り響い
Women
た。
alien.
ヒカルは走っていた。ある場所
Karu
を目指
goes up
して
to Minmay, says, "You gotta sing this song. This is gonna be the big cultural."
何よそれ。なんで私があの人の見つけた歌を歌わなきゃいけないの？
And basically, she is against it because they're the lyrics. So the Zentradi had the composition, but Misa found the lyrics to that song, and that's what he's trying to do. And basically, Trotty are like, no, fuck this. Let's just kill everything. Culture, we don't want culture, we don't want anything. So now we've got to fight against both sides. Kind of an all three-way war.
堅に心を閉ざす民名に戦いで命を落としていったフォッカーたちの
Convince her to
果
sing
た
the
せなかっ
song.
た夢のことを話し、君に
This
は
song
歌
will
が合うじゃ
shock
ない
them
か
into
と告げる
wanting to
光。
fight to preserve the
その
culture.
ひたむきな思いは希望を失いかけていた民名の心に再び光を灯し、
She keeps on about, why did you choose her over me? Basically, Karu here just says that much more going on than just you and me. Finally goes and this is Zentradi blowing up the creator ships. Finally relenting, she's going to sing the song.
どうかしてたわ私。自分から好きでこの道選んだんだもんね。民名。私歌うわ。思いっきり。
Lyrics, got the music in place, and background now. Fight or die. This movie is so great. If you ever get a chance to, you guys need to watch it with subtitles, so you can know more about what's going on. So this is turning the giant, the Zentradi's will, basically is turning their will to destroy the humans, destroy everything, and basically making them want to see what's more about this. So they're basically turning against Bulldozer. Britai and Exodol, or Britai and Exodor. Exodol is like the ship, kind of cartographer. Britai is the commander of this ship. Now we have our last big fight. I don't remember this portion of the game because it's been so long, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So the ones that haven't turned yet, still fighting now. Bombs. If I have any bombs. These are the aliens that are turning their leader, joining us. fight to preserve both.
デルタ1よりスカル1へ
Have
こ
Zentradi
れ
and
より反
Beltrandi
応弾の使用を許可します攻撃は各自の適切な判断に委ねます
fighting together. Most part I have on.
これより補給部隊を発進させます各機所定ポイントで合流してください
Oh no. How crazy this kid can get. Love it. When I played the PS2 one a couple of weeks,
注意してください
it's gonna be a lot better than this, I promise. A lot more going on. It'll run okay. This ship right here. Acting like shit. So, pay attention to stuff in the background. There's a lot of stuff on the background as well. Damn. Alright, see where we end up having to continue from. It's not an easy game. It really isn't. I believe I used to play this shit on hard. I used to get through it. Crap. Perfect. Been surprised. 11. Haven't been. That's what it was. Up. What was that thing? My health. Jeez. Someone just sneezes or farts in my direction, I'm dead. Go. Stay the same. No, actually, I think. Go back. Yeah, this goes.
本艦はこれよりボドルザー艦に対し突入攻撃を開始する。
So we're with the Macross. We're gonna make one final assault on the Dolzo ship.
民兵さん、もう一度お願いします。
もちろん。
民兵サウンドスタンバイ。
光る、届いて届いて、私の歌。
That's it.
メインターゲット A133G165。
Oops.
民兵さんの歌が終わる前にボドルザーを破壊して。
Final. We're inside the big fortress. Just. Yep. Get shot a lot. Just bump into them.
ボドルザーは歌に対しての抵抗力をつけてきてるわ。急いで。マックスのマーサメル。お前と俺の受け。よーボドルザー。
This.
一条先輩、ここは僕とミリアに任せて。
And could use that a little bit sooner. Alright, let's try this again.
Main target A133G165.
Yeah, skip it.
民兵さんの歌が終わる前にボドルザーを破壊して。
Alright,
抵抗力をつけてきてるわ。急いで。
Need to live long enough to get my health back. Got a bomb. Worse. Save our bombs for shit like that. This is gonna require some skill. This might be where I stop tonight.
Main target A133G165. 民名さんの歌が終わる前に戻る
Get to
かを
the
破
2-hour
壊して。
mark. Stop. They're fatiguing and everything. Done.
対しての抵抗力をつけてきてるわ。
We can do this. Oh, dang it, Bobby. Wow, that. Elf. Killed the head of the snake. What? Toast? Vaporized milkshake, whatever it was. Turtle game. did it. Basically beat the game. Sort of. Not hard mode, but whatever. I'll take it. We're still under the 2-hour mark, so it didn't do too bad. One.
こちらデルタワン了解。
Claudia asked, what was that song?
あの歌
So,
ただの流行歌よ。
that it was just a simple love song from many years ago.
何万年も昔に異星人たちの街で流行った
Simple love song, popular
当たり前の
creators
ラブソン
way
グ。
back when. Billions of years ago. That's the first game. Do you remember love? I'm just kind of letting you guys listen to the song. It'll be copyrighted anyway. Best population in the city, growing after the results of the war. Notice some of her bandmates are fairly large. That's them incorporating the literati into their society. That's population rebuilding around them. One of the rougher games. Definitely not easy. Definitely didn't make it easy. I was just on normal. So I'll have to go back and see if the audio was too loud or if it was good, but hopefully whoever watches this later enjoys it. Not one of the more popular games, I guess, to watch. Especially since you can't understand half of it. Not a Fortnite or whatever. I had wanted to play this. It's been a long time. Needed to happen. I have a deep love for Macross. This is one of my favorite games, so It's been a long time since I've been able to play it, which kind of sucks. But here we are. '99 is when they made this game. I think it was like 10 years after the original movie was out. I don't remember when Do You Remember Love came out. It was 1989 or 1987, something around there. That's it. You get to see my rank at the end of this too, so we're gonna see if that holds true or not. Oh, I guess not. I guess it just restarts. Yep. Ugh. Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys coming by. Those who did stop by. I know it wasn't one of the more interesting games to watch, but I had to stream it. It was one thing that's been kind of on my mind for a while. There will probably be several other games that I will be running in the future, so be aware of that. But classic games, I will start running Red Dead, more modern games as well. Um, sorry for the monotone, but everybody's asleep. But yeah, basically we cut it out for about 2 hours. I do appreciate you guys coming and joining us again. Like I said, if you have any requests on classic games you want to see me fuddle through, we could do that at some point. But for now, I do appreciate that, and then you guys have a good evening, and we'll see you the next time that we end up doing a stream. I think I'll start again with Lotus again on Monday. So Lotus on Monday. We'll see about the rest of the week. I don't want to just bogart everything with Lotus, but I do want to kind of get through the game as well. There's some other stuff I want to play, like Anima. That's one thing I've been meaning to stream as well. And of course Red Dead and whatever else. I was gonna stream Doom Eternal, but that I'm stuck at a point because of the game, so we probably won't play Doom Eternal. Um, but we'll have other stuff that we'll play, and we'll go through that. Mostly, most of it's probably going to be classic games. So if you're not into classic games, sorry, but we'll do a little mix of everything this week. We just kind of did a bunch of classic, and then of course the Lotus. So next week we'll continue on with Lotus and some other games. But for the weekend I'll probably stick to doing modern games for that. So, but uh, oh, yeah, you just missed it. I just finished the game, so I'm sorry. Um, we played the PS1 version of Macross. Do you remember Love? I'm not sure how well you can see it there. Uh, but yeah, we just finished it. My hands are a little sore. They're a little raw from all of that, so it's not an easy game to get through. But you will be able to catch this on a replay here on Twitch, or you will be able to find it on YouTube. So uh, I'm just going to call you Ate, or Ate. Thanks for joining. Again, I apologize that you caught it at the end of the stream, but I will be streaming more Macross. If I can find a PS3 emulator, I've got that, but I will definitely be streaming this game, the Sega AM2 Macross game. Kind of goes through both the show storyline and the movie storyline. So this is one of my favorite games. And I do have the Blu-ray Macross right here. But I need a PS3 emulator for that one, or I need to hook up to PS3, and that's probably not going to happen. So, but yeah, there's going to be more Macross around here. I don't play much of the newer games just because the newer Macross stuff I don't follow very much. I haven't been able to get it. Barnes, okay. Um, and thanks for not pronouncing my last name is Burns. Yeah, yeah, no problem. Um, long story short, yeah, I'm a big Macross fan. I like the old shows. It's just uh, the new stuff is kind of like typical anime stuff, and they kind of took away the heart of what Macross was. So I think Macross Zero was the last one I really enjoyed. Um, but they didn't have a game on that one, obviously. Uh, but yeah, I was doing. We do a lot of classic anime. I don't do a lot of mainstream anime anymore, but yeah, Macross has always been near and dear to my heart. So, uh, what made you search Macross? Are you more into the new stuff or the old stuff? Give you a moment to respond because I know that you just came in and I don't want to just cut off and run since you got here, but Macross, the original Macross series is one of my favorites. Do You Remember Love is one of my favorite movies too. Macross 7 was really good. Um, kind of like they changed the roles around a little bit. Macross 2 was okay. It was kind of weird. And Macross Plus, everybody who's known Macross usually refers to Macross Plus as the first one they got into if they didn't get into Macross through Robotech. Um, I've got Robotech shit around here too, but long story short, yeah, uh, Macross is all over the place in this house, but um, yeah, well, I guess either you stepped away or not, but anyway, thanks for joining. You guys have a good one. Macross 2 sequel to every series. Yeah, kind of is. Um, but I mean, some of the new stuff like Macross Frontier, Macross Delta, what's the other one? What's the new one they're on? They're a little more out there, so I think Macross 2 is a little dated compared to those new animes. But but yeah, Macross 2 is definitely an interesting one. Yeah, Zero I think was the last good one that kind of like had the core elements of what made Macross Macross. Um, although it kind of went off on a like another tangent with it. Um, Macross Frontier, I kind of started on that one, but I could not get into it because it was a little too uh, anime-ish. I hate to use that word, but basically it was a little too copy paste as from what everything else was. It's like a high school anime drama. So in that respect, I kind of dipped out from there. I have not seen some of the newer incarnations, but it looked kind of like a lot like the same thing. So hopefully I'm wrong. Maybe it's really good, but yeah. Have you played the Frontier or Delta games, the Macross 30? Well, if you haven't, the hybrid Blu-ray pack is basically only watched them. Yeah, they're kind of hard to come by. If you don't have them already, they're going up in price. Of course, you have to. You're playing them here in the States. We don't have PS3 emulators worth a damn yet. So that's kind of hard to play those too. But yeah, I figured you didn't. So you kind of have to, if you have the game, then you have to play it on a Japanese PlayStation. Actually, remember if you actually do or not. Um, but yeah, anyway, long story short, it's a little harder to come by some of these games because they don't, they're not licensed in the States or anything else. So there's to get them, you have to actually get the Japanese systems and all that. So it makes it that much more difficult to pick them up. So, but yeah, I'm glad I attracted another Macross fan. So, but as I said, we did reach the end of that game, and I hope you do come back around. Living in the new age, obsessed by the old one. Yeah, um, that's because a lot of things have changed. But yeah, the old one had a lot of heart, and the new one, I think, it's I don't know how to say it. It's kind of lost a lot of what made it what it was. So, but I don't know. I think somewhere down the line, if they go back to their roots, maybe we can you know recapture what made Macross Macross. But anyway, I appreciate you for joining in and talking a little Macross with me. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. You guys have a good one, and thank you, Burns, for Barnes. I did what you didn't want me to do. I thank you, Barnes, for joining. Hope you do come back again at some other point. You guys have a good one. See you later.